What's going on, Freedomers? Good morning. I'm gonna tell you a message that I texted a client today who does hair, which is very sexual energy orientated, or creative energy orientated, which means your divine energy. I've accepted that you get in what you put out. And what that means, as I build my own brand, as I've helped build people build their own brand, as as I help people build their own brand, etc., you get in what you put out. So this young lady, I felt bad for whatever reason, for her to charge her $97 a month. I was desperate for the money, to be honest with you, right? But I had to understand. I had to understand that I not only undercharged myself gross, very, um, very much so, because she charges $500 for a wig. But I'm gonna tell you the relevancy of what she said last night. She said she wants people to pay 500 for a wig, right? I said to myself that doesn't even look right and sound right in the sense of the frequency of the universe. If you want people to pay you $500 for a wig, meaning, and they saw you on Instagram, but if you want people to pay you 5%, if you want people to pay you $500 for a wig, if you want the universe to send you people that's going to be $500 for a wig, but you're only putting 20% of one wig a month in your marketing, it's going to look like it. It's going to look like you only put 20% of your efforts in your wig. And what I say that because I'm building my own brand, right? From scratch, from nothing. And I said, if I want $1 million brand, I'm going to have to put $1 million effort. Let me say that again. If you want $1 million brand, you're gonna have to put in $1 million effort. That means at least minimum you have to put in $10,000 in your brand for you to have $1 million brand. Let me say that again. For you to make a $1 million brand, mean people know you everywhere, you have to put at least $10,000 in. And what that means is, yes, you might strike luck and you might find somebody who builds your Instagram and you make money doing that. And that's true. But I had to understand, yes, you can have somebody grow your Instagram, etc., like myself. But it depends on what industry you're in. Like if you're relying on content alone to bring people in your store, you're gonna have to put in paid advertisement. You're gonna have to put in um uh manual effort. You can't put in $97 a month and then say nobody's coming to my store. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're playing the long game. Like they even say that about ecom, right? For you to have ecom, you're gonna have to do paid ads, Facebook paid ads. So that might be anywhere from $10 to $100 to $200. Now, I'm not saying you can't make no money, but if you're not doing any paid advertisement, I mean real paid advertisement, I mean ads, right? And you may not. And I'm not even. I made my first 10 grand without spending a dime for paid ads. Don't get it twisted. You can make money doing paid ads, but if you're relying on content alone to build you a brand, and you're only doing 100% effort, is bullshit. Because unless you're posting 3 to 9 times a day on Instagram and you're going live, you're missing the fucking mark. And that's what as my reflection. That's what she showed me, my reflection. She showed me my reflection of saying that you're putting in minimal effort in your content, minimal effort, and you want you want people to come to you in person, you want people to shake your hand. That's BS, bro. It don't work that way unless you've been building your brand for some time now. And again, it depends on your niche. Unless you're twerking your booty on Instagram and you're relying on content and content alone, you're gonna have to put some pedal to the metal. Because like, let's say you're doing hair, you can't just show your hair and then say, oh, um People gonna come to the store because of that. No, people don't care about that. People need a reason to care about what you're talking about. And if you're just posting what everybody else is posting, that's cool. But that to women, that doesn't stand out. Women need you to stand out. You're trying to get their conscious attention, the masculine. You're gonna need to stand out. You can't just be regular and then say, "Oh, people not showing up." Especially if you show up on a minimal basis. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you put in minimal effort in your business, you're gonna get minimal money. Just like one of my mentors told me, if you show up when you feel like it, you're gonna get show up when you feel like it money. Especially if you're not doing no paid advertisement. When I say paid advertisement, I mean ads. I mean shout outs. I mean personal branding. If you're not investing in your personal brand, meaning for a reason of people to like you, not just showing up with followers, you gotta show up bigger. Because you're gonna get people who are kids, especially if you're in the beauty field. You're gonna get people who are adults, but not every follower is gonna be super targeted. But you need people to like you past hair. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta if you want $1 million brand, you gotta have $1 million effort. You gotta have $1 million effort. You can't just have, oh, I show up when I feel like it. Whatever. You can't. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. Oh, but like I said, that's gonna go in the video too. I don't give a fuck. But you can't have $1 million brand and you have $100 effort. That doesn't work. You can't pay $100 a month and be expecting a fucking miracle. That's impossible. Like, no. Let me not say it's impossible. Nothing's impossible. But because I've had clients leverage our system at $97 a month at one time, and they made 20 bands, right? So nothing's impossible. But she played for the long game though, and her effort was different. She showed up every day. She showed up every day. She had an email list. She had products. She was bringing out content, etc., etc., etc. You can't say, I'm going to show up when I feel like it and however I feel like it, and say, I'm not making people not coming to my store. You know what you got to do to people to come to your store, yo, off Instagram? You know what I'm saying? Again, some niches is easier than others. But if you're in a field that's sexual energy orientated or driven, you need to be putting up $1 million effort. You can't build $1 million brand on $100 effort. Period. That's what I'm gonna make go viral. You can't make $1 million brand off $100 effort. Period. You can't build $1 million brand and put in $100 effort. And then say people are not coming to me. People, you know what you gotta put in for that? You can't build $1 million brand with $100 effort. You can't. I'm not talking from fucking philosophy. I'm talking from experience. You can't build $1 million brand with $100 effort. It's impossible. You're gonna be playing you're gonna be playing a very long game. You're gonna be playing a very long-term game. Very long-term game. Very long-term game. Very long-term game. Very long-term game.